All right, so we have another Labour MP who's in trouble. He's been suspended. He's a creep, and his name is Geraint Davies. And now we got all the people who are complaining coming out slowly to say, yes, he's a bit of a weirdo. He gets drunk and gets a bit touchy. And nobody is surprised, not necessarily because it's Davies, it's because we've heard these sort of stories from the Westminster bubble so many times over the last few years. So sadly, it's not shocking. Unfortunately, it's not shocking. But we still have to talk about this because there is a big chain of chaos that's been spread around like a virus in British politics. And I think it's time to drain the swamp of the establishment. Now, let's talk about what's going on with this because so this guy was suspended now, and we've got people who were complaining about him. Took it their time, they didn't really want to cause trouble before, or they were afraid of the establishment in the Labour Party, not believing them. The usual suspects came out, and now we know that he has been suspended. But now we also have a former parliamentary staffer who has claimed that Mr. Davies made inappropriate advances towards her when she was working as a young researcher in the early 2000s. So this is years ago. But nobody did anything back then. The issue with this is that, again, it's not the first time. It's not going to be the last time. We're going to have more names who are going to be questioned over the next few years. And ironically, it's the same MPs who, every time something happens like this, these MPs come out to do virtue signalling, to say, yes, this is absolutely shocking. I didn't believe this. My colleague in Parliament did inappropriate stuff. Well, then 2 years later, you're going to get caught. Not saying every single MP, but I'm saying that there's so many of these MPs who complain about their colleagues being creepy, end up also themselves being creepy. So clearly, there's a big problem that it's essentially a cross-party scandal. So, let's talk about this guy now. He's come out to say, I do not recognize the allegations suggested and do not know who has made them. None of them, as far as I know, has been lodged as complaints with the Labour Party or Parliament. If I have inadvertently caused offence to anyone, then I am naturally sorry, as it is important that we share an environment of mutual and equal respect for all. So, obviously, innocent until proven guilty. And this is where we have to be always careful because sometimes innocent people get cancelled for no reason. Sometimes, obviously, the false allegations completely undermine the real allegations. But most of the time, we also have a situation where the real creepy people also manage to get away with it because of those false allegations about the others. So we don't know. We can't make a judgment until it's actually been completely proven. But we can't really go out there and say, well, because there's no evidence, this person is an angel. Or saying, well, we heard a couple of people say something, so this person is definitely a devil. All we know is that there's a toxic culture in British politics and in Parliament. So it doesn't have to be necessarily Geraint Davies, but it could be somebody else. But there's definitely somebody else. There's always other MPs and other researchers in Parliament who are also creepy. Not everybody, but there are a number of them. Now, speaking to Sky News, after the party suspended Mr. Davies, one Labour MP said, well, he would openly boast about bringing escorts onto the terrace of Parliament and show them off. So he used to pay for escorts and, basically there's professionals to come into Parliament, have drinks with him. And they say that the party officials had warned him to stop doing it, but no formal complaints had been made against him, adding they can't take any action over hearsay. Well, clearly, the system is broken. So we know that at this point, that everybody is already saying he was creepy and he was bringing an escort into Parliament, workplace. It's just a little bit weird. But we don't know how much, to what level we have to go when it comes to creepiness. Nothing has been proven yet. But we have seen a trend, especially in the Labour Party. Not just the Parliamentary Labour Party. How many times on this channel we've exposed local councillors in Labour who have been suspended or expelled because of handsy stuff. And especially in the Midlands and North, we've had, without getting too much detail in terms of demographics, but you know what I mean. Anyway, let me know what you think of this weird story, and it's still escalating. Hopefully we're going to find out more about it. Otherwise, they're just going to completely cover it up and just move on as usual. We don't know if he's guilty or not, so innocent until proven guilty. I'm Mahyar Tousi, and we are the media.